Welcome to a Minorities Report. This is episode 8. I am with my good friend, Becky Leron.
Hello, how are you?
Thank you for doing this, Becky.
Yes, he did kind of twist my arm, but I figured no.
Right, that's good. I'm glad. I'm glad it worked.
Well, no, just have such respect and admiration for you. So I figured, okay, he asked me, so I might as well,
Thank you.
embarrass myself. But what the heck? Not the first time.
That's good. That's good. You know, you're in a good group here. We
Okay.
had Dr. Eco and then si Angelo, Austria.
Oh yes, I
Yeah,
like
and
that.
then Ken, and then Mikey. Yeah,
Oh,
Mikey.
Mike.
Mikey was episode 2, and then
Yeah, I saw Mikey.
yeah,
Hi,
you
Mike.
saw
Yeah,
that
so
one.
that's why.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
he's that guy. And then we had Ro, friend of ours here, church
Yes.
family, retired lieutenant colonel,
Oh,
and
nice.
then Ken, remember
Yes.
Ken, and then now you. So yeah, did I
Okay.
forget anybody there? My Lani, our church, a lady from our church who's a pharmacist.
Uh-huh.
So, and you, Becky, now you are the family, one of the daughters of Manila Hong Kong International Store, the first Filipino international store here in Reno.
Yes, I guess you could say that. I think so. Yes.
When did it start? You know?
It, if you're going to look at the history, and since it's really part of my, my life, we really started back in 83 or 84. And it was a different name. It was in Reno, right next to Reno High School.
Correct. I
Yes.
heard about that.
My mom's dream, and then we moved to Sparks, and it just kind of expanded from there. And now it's still standing.
Correct.
Thank
correct.
God. Yes.
Up to now, my mom says, let's go to Alice's store.
That has been, I've
Punta
heard that
tayo
many
kay
times.
Alice. Yeah, it's always Alice for my mom. But when did you and your family move from the Philippines over here? When did you guys immigrate?
Sure. My mother came to United States in this 1979. She was ready to go back because, okay, it's not for me. But, life happens. So she decided she will migrate the whole entire family. Fast forward, we came 1982. So you could imagine
Wow.
there's 6 of us, 6 kids. First time on the plane. So it was just crazy. I remember vividly the flight attendant thought it was just, we're so cute because, even though we're teenagers, but we're just like so jolly just because we were so happy we're going to go see my mom. And yeah, 1982, and now we are here. How many years is that? Let's not talk about that. Next
No,
question.
1982. That's good. So, the 80s here, was life pretty hard for you as an immigrant? Like as a foreigner, how was life in Reno during the 80s?
Okay, if you would look at the history, of course, Nevada, I'm going to tell you, it was quite a redneck state. So is it difficult? Absolutely. I think for anyone who migrate into another country, it is always going to be difficult. But I'm going to say that is good to have that experience in your life because it really expands your, not just your the whole mental, physical, and just the knowledge. Yes, if you really think about it, we first came here, we were teenagers,
Yeah.
so quite a big adjustment from going to a private small school in Manila, then coming to a high school that is big and
Where'd you
like-
guys go?
We went to Reno High School.
Reno High. Okay.
Yes,
Okay. Same
yes.
with me.
Oh, you
Reno
did?
High. Reno High. Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you a story real quick. So I was so excited because you're finally going to go without uniform. I remember I wore my very nice brand new top. I even ironed it. So first day in school, I was talk about culture shock. I saw kids were dressed sloppy, rude, and I'm like,
Pajamas.
Yeah,
maybe.
not necessarily pajamas, but I thought they were untidy. That was the word that came. I mean, what I thought about it, and so it was kind of like, okay, maybe it's like this. So now I look back, I still talk about that because I reason I'm saying this is because I am thankful from what I being
You had
where
in
I
the
came from,
Philippines.
what I had, even though maybe it was a little different that day, but it gives you a perspective of wow, I think we
You had it
Filipinos
good.
are good. We're not that, when even in dressing up,
Correct.
in terms of just everyday, daily, daily life. But it was not bad. I mean,
Which part of Manila were you at?
in the we grew up in like in Chinatown area, like the Divisoria, that area, because my mom she's half Chinese,
Oh, she
always in the
is
business,
Tita
so
Alice. Okay, okay.
that's why she.
Oh, that's why. Okay, okay, okay.
Yes, very entrepreneur.
Yeah. Okay, okay. That makes sense now. But Tita Alice, kasi Tita Alice was just always like somehow the community mom. She was everybody's tita or mommy.
Yeah.
She was always involved in I mean, it felt like she was always involved, I should
I
say.
think people more so involve her because they feel comfortable with her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So they tell her the life story. There's a problem. If you
Like a
didn't know,
therapist.
well, no, as immigrants in the community, I would tell you a story. I remember somebody just went to my mom. There's a person being, deported because for whatever reason. So my mom was into action right away. She says, okay, I'm going to give money and then start calling family and friends. Would you like to contribute? So, because, so-and-so is going back home. So at least let's send them off with some pocket money.
Oh,
And that's
wow.
big.
Oh, wow, yeah.
If you really think about it.
This was before social media and
before anything.
before GoFundMe. Tita Alice was doing this
Yeah.
organic way, right?
Yes. But that's how I
good.
remember her. So she's always helping people.
Yeah,
I think she has
yeah.
the heart to help.
Yes, I remember that. Well, for me, I grew up here. Well, I got here in '93, end of '93, so almost '94. And then whenever I would get homesick, I would just want to make a trip over to Manila, Hong Kong,
Oh, wow.
because I'll go there. It brings me back to the Philippines because there's Filipinos around.
Yeah.
You get to speak with somebody in your native tongue,
Yeah.
right? And you get to share stories here and there, and you got your chippy there or
You're-
the Royal Natural, or
Yes.
Royal True Orange, right? So you grab them and merienda lang ako doon, and I felt like I made a trip to the Philippines, and I'll leave.
wow, that's such a nice. Nice
It was a
to
cheap
hear.
way of going home.
Yeah. No, but yeah, it's true. You go in there. Actually, you see people interacting.
Correct, yeah.
Talking about life, talking about yes. I think
Yeah.
that's why it became kind of a hub.
It
right?
was a hub. Yeah, it was. That's why Manila Hong Kong is so special to me. It's always been that.
Thank you.
And,
That's good to know.
Tita Alice was always really just always interested. Tita Alice would always ask like, "Oh, how's your mom?
Yeah.
Everything, is your brother better?" Like
Yeah.
she remembers the
Wow.
details.
Oh, see, I didn't even know any. Yeah.
But she always calls me though for the late rentals.
Yeah. I think you're notorious. I think
You know
if
that?
there's one wanted. Yeah.
You know that, Mikey? They would have a video rental.
The old days when you have
VHS.
the VHS. Remember it's kind of like
Block-
Hollywood box,
Yeah,
or something like that.
Blockbuster,
Yeah.
Yeah, they would have those latest movies, and you only have like a day to watch it.
24 hours.
So I would not return it the day of. Tita Alice typically would give me like 2 days, and on the third day she'll call me, Judge it. Hindi lang ikaw anak ng Diyos. You're not the only child of God. Return the movie. Other people are looking for it. Come, get it.
Because
bring it
people,
back.
there's a wait list. Do you know that? When there's a new release movie from the Philippines, there's a wait list.
Correct.
So, no, I kid you not. No, there's a wait list. So I think when then they go, okay, somebody's not. It's always Joe, Mr. Joe, notorious.
That's
So my mom
right.
will pick up the phone, maybe would pledge. Would you just please return the movie so we can?
Yeah, she would call me. I would always get a call from her, but she's a sweet lady, And well, I went ahead of my questions here because this is just how it's going. But what was your mom's motivation in opening the store?
you
Do you
know,
know? Did she share it with you?
Oh yeah, of course. We were a part of it. I think one thing growing up, my mom was always share us, the good, the bad, and the ugly, in life. You know what I mean? So, or the families. She's always that cohesiveness. Like okay, you take care of each other. We're a family unit.
Yeah.
So when the her dream, she talked about her dream. You know, not everybody's on board, but knowing how driven my mother is and how determined and hardworking person she is, she started talking about it, and within the year, she's doing the trip, she's doing the research, and remember there was no internet back there. The research, she will drive to San Francisco, she
Yeah.
will drive different cities, and
To get the supplies?
not the research before you even get the
Oh.
supplies, so you know where to get your supplies. Not to mention,
Oh.
how you put a
Before
business.
internet. This is before
Before-
internet, yeah.
Yes, and how are we gonna do this? So she did that, and we have to pull our money together.
Oh.
Because to start for a capital. My mom she works as a dealer, and
Okay, I was gonna ask, did she ever work?
yeah, she did, and
Okay.
I think she knew from the get go. She's not an employee type of a person. She's always been a business owner. So, but then she also knows that it's a process. So she was starting after. Remember coming here 6 kids with everything that's happened in life. We are really negative. We have even my mom had to borrow money to buy our plane ticket from my uncle. You know what I mean?
Correct.
But she paid that off. So it's all a lot of planning. And when she decided she wants to really do that, go for it. You see her saving, and we'd give her paycheck to her.
And the population for the Filipinos at that time was so tiny.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? I mean, right now it's not. It's better, of course, but
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot more. But especially during your time, that must have taken a lot of guts from. Talagang
Oh
from-
yeah. Talk about guts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
So she pulled money. She got everybody in the family on board.
Borrowed
Like,
some money.
okay, this is what we're gonna do.
This is what we're gonna do. Yes. And then she even asked. I remember like a partner, but they did not last.
Okay.
She stayed, and really we even said that give up. It's really. We're in the hole. You're in the negative. You
The
know how
first
it is.
year
Yeah,
was-
the first,
was it hard?
First few years.
Okay.
She never stopped. Let me tell you, her marketing. I'm gonna tell you. Talk about cold call.
She was cold calling.
No, she would call. We had the old notebook. Hey, we have new items. Would you come down? Like we have new veggies. She would call like, hey, I remember seeing you. Like we have. What do you call that? Bagong dating, like
Right.
yeah.
The delivery.
So,
The delivery.
yeah. And then she expanded that if you can't come, because there's a lot of Filipinos that they
Wasn't
came,
driving.
they wasn't driving. We even did the delivery service. Tell you, he
did.
started.
Wow.
So after we closed the store, and but she was also working at the time because you cannot quit your job. So it wasn't. So it was a lot of
A lot of work.
sacrifice.
Yeah.
Talk about blood and sweat, literally blood and
Yeah.
sweat. Yes.
Yeah. Wow. So all the I never met your dad. Was
Oh, he came. He passed away, but he's also he's here. My dad is always so supportive too. Very he of course whoever's the more entrepreneurs, obviously my mom.
Correct,
But
correct.
my dad has always support us in a different way.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay,
He's
good.
the peacemaker. Yes. Yes.
So, out of all the siblings, when it was starting out, what was your responsibility
Oh my
that your
gosh.
mom assigned you to do?
I think we obviously everything. But that includes my siblings as well. You know, what can you contribute? You know what I mean? I talk about hard life as an immigrant. I go into school. We have one car, if you will, and
Yeah.
I had to go walk from my work from the bank, go pick up the car from her to downtown, then pick up my siblings to close the store, and then deliver. You know, we do the delivery.
Wow.
So I guess really in the whole summation of things, Manila Hong Kong didn't become Manila Hong Kong now. You know, it was really
From
from
the,
you know from the very humble beginning.
wow.
Yes.
What was your hours, Becky?
Uh, where the,
So Manila, Hong Kong.
oh
When you guys
Yes.
started out,
well, oh when we started we literally it was about I think 9 to 7.
7 days a week.
Yeah, 7 days a week.
Oh wow.
Yes. So yes. Oh, sometimes they have to, but it gives you really a sense of being really working hard work. You know, they say, right, and I do believe in that. All the adversities, that's what makes you grow and makes you better in your field. Or
Correct. Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Because so everything that you've learned there. Well, I forgot to introduce your business there. Becky is has been a mortgage broker since she was 5. Right? For 27 years
I
now.
take that.
She's a mother of 3 adult children.
Yes.
What's their ages now? I
So
remember
Mike is-
Amanda running around the
I know,
store before when
right?
she was like 3 or 4, I think.
Yes. Now I have a 32. Well, they're all 30, 32, 31, and 28.
Wow.
I know, right?
Wow. Yeah. That's good.
Yes, I'm very. That's if you ask for my accolades, that's I think thank the Lord, blessed to have such amazing
Children.
children,
Yeah.
kind people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
None of them gave you sakit sa ulo like you did with Tita. No, I'm kidding.
I know. Oh, yeah, I'm sure they
I'm
did
kidding,
at
I'm
some point. They did, but none was. I can't
No
really.
troublemaker. We're all good kids.
No,
Good for you.
thank you.
Good for you. That's a blessing, right? That's
that's-
one less thing to worry about.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. That's true. Yeah, you're right.
So, okay, so Tita Alice borrowed money, hard work was behind it, and then it kicked off. Kasi lumipat kayo. You guys
Yeah.
moved from the branch.
From Reno, so that was really the old owner of that they called Hong Kong store. So that's why it became Manila Hong Kong store. But that Manila Hong Kong is, remember, that represents my mom. Manila, she's born, and then Hong Kong, she's Chinese. So that's how
That's how the name came up.
came about. Yes,
Oh, Manila,
Yes.
Hong Kong.
Yes.
Okay, because she's
So-
half Filipina.
and half Chinese.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, good.
Yes, I think that's the industrious
clever.
aspect of her traits, right? Came
Yeah.
from. Well, I think being Filipino too. She's.
But I think the business mind, I would say, most of the time comes from the Filipino Chinese.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. But my grandma too she's a very business and she's an entrepreneur,
Yeah,
leader in the community in the Philippines.
Correct.
So it's kind of like I'm sure my mom, it's probably in her DNA.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So which you got too. So tell us, how did you transition from starting out Manila, Hong Kong with your mom, and then to become Becky,
Oh wow.
right? Just to be Becky Leron.
Well, as being as immigrant, I'm sure you've heard it. I know a lot of people having 2 jobs,
Yeah.
3 jobs because we help the family. So I think I've always kind of wanted to, besides the store, and then also I know it's not going to pay my. And
Yeah,
then I went to UNR. It's not going to help me with my tuition fee. So I've always kind of went to school, and then I went to work for the bank. That was pretty much, and
Which bank was it?
oh, you probably would not. It's Valley Bank, which is now Bank of America.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, okay, okay.
7 years in the banking, and
Oh, wow.
yeah,
I
yes,
didn't know that. Okay, okay.
and I would say that what's really kind of my main foundation with my career now. I started. You don't know this proof department. Proof department. See, a lot of young ones would not even know that. Remember, we used to write a check. We balanced those. I was because that's why I go into college, and then after UNR, I would go to work because we process all the checks.
Oh,
Yes, at the bank, and from there, I'm kind of just supervisor position, and then really went out and really wanted to do more in the banking field. Meaning, I've started going to in the branch, and it kind of got we know the bank does not, they don't pay you a lot, but the experience that I got from there, and then I started doing the home equity line of credit. So I was kind of really liking it.
that's how you were introduced to the mortgage.
The mortgage,
somehow.
yes.
Oh,
yes,
okay,
yes.
okay.
So
Oh,
yes, and then after that I got married.
okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, but anyhow, but then I decided, okay, I'm gonna get back. Even though I run the business, you always have a second job. That's what I will always have.
You were always working then, like you were always looking to do something. I should say, or always looking to make money.
Yes, I think that's the Filipino in us, right? Come on, yeah. or well,
Not everybody, I think.
no, but okay. This is my I tell my kids, if you want to do this, okay, like say, oh, I want to go skiing, I want to do this, I want to do that, then you know what? You better know how to make money to be able to do what you want to do, instead of just asking for money, right? So like my daughter wants, or my son goes, well, then go work extra or go get another job, get a second job. You're young.
Yeah.
I know, is that a Filipino in me? Go get a second job. You're young. You know what? Well, you can do it.
Wow,
No, because
yeah.
you want to do this, right? Besides the saving, and then go do something.
So you're always from an early age. You were just that motivated. You were that driven.
I think I start. Yeah. If I tell you the story, my very first and well, because I already exposed to business, but my very first one I earned 10 cents. I was where I used to live, there's a Chinese bakery, and they used to sell one of those. It's like biscotti, like it was 25 cents. So I bought two, I remember, and because I only used 50 cents for my baon, for my
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I was in second grade, and I sold it for 35 cents. So oh my
So
gosh!
you ate one and you sold the other one for 35?
I sold those two. So I came home with 70 cents. I said, oh, this is good. That's my first
Experience in business.
experience. And I go, well, I have, so then again, and I borrowed $2 or two pesos. So it's like 8. So I remember my bag full of biscottis. It's a bag.
He started
I
selling.
borrowed that money, and I, believe it or not, I paid my mom back. So I made 80 cents. So I think
What grade were you in?
I was in second grade.
Second grade?
Yes.
Wow.
Because everybody was like, my classmates goes, oh, it's like 2 was not enough because everybody wants. And I'm like, how am I going to buy more? I only have 70 cents. And then actually, no, I take that back, because then the next day my mom gave me another 50 cents from my baon. So I was able to buy 4. That went fast.
So you were really,
I
it
think
was really in your blood.
I think so. So
You saw an opportunity and you took it
yes.
at second grade.
Well,
which is,
because I've sold it I go, oh, wow, I can make money.
yeah, you can, huh?
Yeah, and then my mom always kind of helped. She's like we have produce business, and actually my mother taught us to, yeah, I was part of.
So in the Philippines, she was already running a business there.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Okay, that explains a lot. Okay, good. Because you for me, I don't think I had it in me naturally, or because I wasn't exposed to it.
Oh, okay.
Business, you
Yes.
know. I was always told study well or study hard so that you could become
That's our
an
Filipino
engineer
mantra.
or right,
just
or
study hard,
engineer
yeah.
or whatever. And then I wasn't good in school. I'm like, all right, What am I gonna do? I'm screwed. So but you had the business spirit
Activate, if
already.
you will. Yeah.
Yeah, you already did.
Yes.
Is so your mom knew about that about you, I think. She
You
knew
know,
it.
in hindsight, I think so. I really, because I remember when my mom, it was Sunday, my mom goes, okay, let's open, like when we're going to do retail. I go, Mom, how come all my brothers and siblings, they're playing cards? Why are you going to put me there? No, it's okay. I'll give you 10 pesos. Remember, my bound at the time was 250. That's a lot of money. I said, well, if I don't sell anything, no, I'm still going to give you 10. At the time, that was a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
So I end up selling a lot. And I go, she's always encouraging me. Like,
You were
why do I always get to do the hard part? But again, I think that because I think that's why I've always kind of explore.
correct? Yeah, yeah. By the sound of it, from
Thinking,
second grade.
I'm telling you this now. It's like I feel like I'm in therapy now. I'm realizing that's
Yes,
where I
just
got
tell
it.
me. I'll send you the check in the mail.
Now I'm realizing, I think that's because you're
Isn't
asking
that
me questions.
amazing? Yeah.
Oh, I've never talked about this. That's why.
Isn't that amazing? You were actually a business person from the get go because your mom exposed you to it and she recognized it probably, and she
I
just
think so.
fanned the flame that you already had.
Yeah, I thought I was just the obedient child.
That too. You are that too.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, you're right. Now I'm really realizing. No, thank you. I'm realizing. Now I'm like, oh, that's why.
So the lessons that you've learned from your mom in running the Filipino store, because share this other story though, this other aspect of the Filipino or the Manila Hong Kong getting involved with the Filipino community. How did that come about? Like, what was your mom's big idea there? Why? Because Manila Hong Kong wasn't just a store. Like, at least for me, I think everybody that
I think
grew
a
up
lot
here
of-
in the 90s and early
They know it,
2000s,
yeah.
they know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
That, like, if you need help, go to Tita Alice,
Yes.
go to Manila Hong Kong. If you have a friend that has no papers, maybe if they need help, just go to Manila Hong Kong. Maybe they can help you, point you to the right direction for an attorney or whatever. There's
That's true. Absolutely. You're
right
right.
because there's always that. So what was how did it become a hub for like the Filipino community headquarters? It seems like.
I would say it's really also her leadership. I think it's and the heart to help people. To go beyond and that's I remember from her really vividly and I think it just kind of multiplied. People because where can I go to? I remember one time there's a Filipino went to church at St. Thomas and I think she was asking church for help. You know what? The church. You go, well,
Go
send
see
her
Alice.
to my mom.
Go see Alice.
Yeah, so it's like, okay. So she would try to help always at, even beyond her capacity in terms of really asking, giving others the opportunity to help. And I think it's because she always says, if you help someone, that's how what Jesus wants you, that's how we learn, also going to church. And
She was heavy in her faith, right?
oh, she's very, very devout, and I think, what do you call that? She walk her talk, and then from there, if you already have that heart, like you serving people, and and even, and I don't want to sound to be, religious, but the
You're
Bible
okay.
says that it will really, and I don't know how to quote, but I remember reading that God gave you this talent, the more you use that talent, God will give you more talent.
Oh yeah. Sure. So she's just always had the heart to help people.
Yeah. And then beyond that, remember the civic we were talking about, beyond not just the church, we're talking about
Yeah, talk about that. The Philippine Heritage Foundation that you guys started and all that stuff.
Mom, because we're in Reno, she sees, I think she sees the need that there's a lot of Filipinos and also like even my own kids, we have to teach them our heritage. You're in the United States. Let's not forget where you came from.
Correct.
And
correct.
how do you convey that and in terms of, so it starts from, and it's a whole collaboration, it's a whole effort, everybody, and even in the Philippines, there's so many regions, there's different dances, there's different customs, even how you cook adobo in one part of the region, right? So mom likes to really share that and impart that to a lot of
I like that.
Filipinos, and you do that in so many ways. And then even the Philippine Heritage Society, really the goal is to get awareness of the heritage of the Philippines and share that in the United States.
Correct.
Yes.
And you were leading that for your mom.
When she passed away,
Okay.
it's a big shoe to fill in. I guess, sort of expected. So we started it again.
Oh, but she told you shared with me that she had you coordinate with the casinos because you guys opened this.
That's just one of the
Asian
events.
Fest, right?
Oh no, that's just one of the events. There's
Okay,
a lot of
yeah.
things that's kind of happened.
I haven't seen it replicated up to now, which
I told you
challenging me.
it's a
It's
big,
challenging me right now.
There you go.
But
There you go, Mr. Joe.
but I like it. Share it.
Well, the Philippine Heritage Society would step in every time there's a cultural event. So you remember the Reno Arts downtown?
Okay.
So she's also part of that.
She's really
Because it's a Philippine Heritage Society. So
Okay.
who do they contact? But also when, I'm going to go back a little bit. When, remember, month of May is Asian Pacific Heritage Month. I don't know if you guys know. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
when,
just saw it. Yeah.
yeah, so when that really happened, if you know the history of that, it came from Washington, D.C. So what happened now is every state, and then in the state of Nevada, that southern, Filipino community there, wanted that in Nevada to be recognized. So what they did is they went to Carson City. They have to go to Carson City.
Yeah,
It has to be
capital,
passed. It's
yeah.
a bill. And anyhow, but part of, because of being very active in the community, you get to become the contact person. So they brought that here. I remember bringing them all to Carson City legislative. Okay, but it got passed.
Wow.
So and then we had a reception at the
You were
governor's
part of
mansion.
that here.
Yes, I was. That I
Wow.
would tell you when talk about. They gave me an award, so we asked for those accolades because I put things together in this part because everybody was coming from southern, like Las Vegas. And this is not just Filipino. This is the Asian Pacific Association of Northern Nevada. There was APAN. So I'm just so I don't want to bore you with all.
Wow.
There's
No,
so many.
no,
of
I
this
like
thing.
it. Go ahead,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So we're obviously APAN. We have the Chinese community, the Vietnamese community. So it's not just the Filipinos. So but Filipinos are always active.
You
So
kind of led the way.
yeah, well, I reach out to APAN, which is
Okay.
because I was also a part of it during the time. Besides the Filipino community, so I gathered from the Vietnamese community, Chinese, Japanese community. So we have to have two representatives. So I got the one from the northern Nevada. They brought everybody
From Vegas.
From Vegas. We have two vans driving all the way to
Carson City.
Yeah.
But you were the contact person here.
Oh, I actually,
Oh, wow.
yes.
Wow.
And
That's
El Dorado
huge.
donated the cake.
How is that?
I told you about that. I asked, I forgot who my contact said, hey,
It was the guy that found you cute.
Oh, no. Oh, no. It's just business relationship.
No,
Every time I ask him something for the community. No, El Dorado is very open.
El Dorado
Yes.
was pretty active in
Yes.
getting involved in that.
Yes. So
Wow.
every time, you know what it is like, okay, we need a big cake. And then El Dorado, you give them a call. And they're, I guess I'm plugging El Dorado, but I appreciate, they were.
That was where my first job.
Oh, yeah. So there's a lot, because I know that a lot of Filipinos. And so, this whole, the whole, we discuss it, there's so much, it kind of just, when you're doing this, you go do another thing. And then as long as it's going to help the community, I think that's the whole idea of it.
Yeah, it just kept going, huh? From just your mom's, oh, hey, we're going to start a business. We're going to help each other, and this is going to be big. This is our vision for our family.
Oh, she didn't say it's going to be big, but we didn't think it's going to be
It was probably in there. Because look at it right now. It's been standing tall for how many years now? Since 1984?
Yeah,
Did you say?
and it's because the community. I want to thank you. And then it's not just the Filipino community. It's also there's a lot of different.
Correct. Throughout the years,
Yes,
you've touched the Tongan community, as you mentioned earlier,
Yes.
because
There were,
Tita Alice got involved in.
no,
or
just yeah, visiting. I think somebody passed away, and they were
'Cause
so
she
happy.
listens.
She would show up. They didn't think she would show up at the viewing. They
Wow.
were surprised to see her because I
Yeah.
remember she would ask me to accompany her,
Wow.
and I
Wow.
would just sit there. Okay, and they would
Because she really does, she would really listen. She would really
guess
listen
so,
to
yeah.
you, and I don't even know if I should share this, but I'll just share it just to emphasize Tita Alice's eye for details. I broke up with my ex,
Oh yeah.
and then I went in the store with my new girl, and then your mom said, "Oh, I really like the last one." So I'm like, oh, she remembers. Yeah, it's kind of hard, like it's kind of hard to ignore somebody that, I mean, with the many people that she
Yeah.
meets every day.
And she does that to everybody just to let you know. I mean, meaning,
Like
she means no malice, but I think she
no.
was just,
She knows it, like she knows, like
Wow.
she has her ear on the ground. Type of thing.
wow.
Like, no, because that's being involved. That's being a community leader, like knowing people's lives and helping as much as.
Isn't that how sometimes I hear stories that, oh my gosh, this, whatever, the president is like, remembered, oh, yeah,
Correct.
yeah. So, okay, I guess,
I mean, I wonder if she ever really did see herself as that, because I know she's running a business. She has to be friendly. She has to be courteous.
oh,
But
she's
she
not
ended
always
up.
not friendly, yeah. No, but, you're a leader yourself, I think you would always have
Some-
certain, there's always a time that you need to put your foot,
on the
like,
ground,
okay,
yeah.
you're not pleasing, you got to focus on the goal.
Correct,
You don't
correct.
want to just please
No,
anyone.
I don't think I was a nice leader when I used to run the basketball league.
Oh, that's always
I
stressful.
think I lost clients more than I earned clients when I
Is
went.
that right?
My hope was to get my name out there, to earn some business. But people, Filipinos, man, when they end up playing basketball, they also want to fight.
Because
So,
they're very passionate.
yeah, it's
yeah.
basket brawl.
Yeah. Does make that the first Filipino American Association was we put that together. Yeah, and then
Okay.
they took over, right? Yeah.
Yes. Share that. Share the funny story of the birth of that, the Filipino Basketball League.
Oh my
First
gosh. And then,
ever. You guys led that.
and I
See,
remember.
even that, Tita Alice led that.
Well, no,
your family.
there's always a lot of people involved. We always have, and what it was is really there's a purpose because the whole purpose of that is we want our Filipino young ones because this is America, and then everybody can. There's some Filipinos get into not good things, so why don't we put that energy?
Like drugs.
Yeah, there you go. Let's put that energy somewhere. So we created a league. We started just promoting, and we set the guidelines. We have the bylaws. We put everything. So when you do this type of start something, there's a lot of preparation, a lot of people involved, a lot of delegation.
Yeah.
So
You're running it like a business.
yes, you have.
You guys had
yeah.
it. You had the skill. Yeah.
You connect with, let's say, the facility, what their fees, and because you pass it on, and we have, you got to put that all in place, and before the show, right?
Correct.
So we put that together. It it became successful.
It was big, right?
Yeah, it became like the thing in the Filipino community. I think it was Sunday. Everybody's there, so nobody has time to go get in trouble because during the day they go practice.
Correct.
Because Filipinos are competitive, So we only started with basketball, and the next year we expanded with volleyball. So the girls are also
yeah,
there.
yeah.
So I was telling Joe, oh my gosh, everybody's there, the young ones, and next, okay, this is very true. And then, so I was,
know what's
we're
coming.
making fun of this, and it's true. And then this is a side note, okay? So I'm so happy because it was successful. We have, at least the funds are not running out, because there's expenses no matter what.
And you were charging entrance fees.
Yes.
I never got to charge entrance fees. You know that? But go ahead,
And
continue.
yes, see, that's now what's the problem. See, if you charge entrance fees, they show it's free. They don't
They
no
don't
respect
care.
for that, right? No, we did. You
That's
cannot
the
enter.
science behind
Yeah.
it, huh?
But anyhow, so the year after that, we lost some players because you know what happened? They didn't get in trouble. Those young ones, they hook up and somebody was married or somebody's pregnant. She can't play anymore.
The
But I
volleyball
said,
league went down quick.
So there's
They
this
became
girlfriend.
moms.
There's this. It's I think looking back, it can be fun. There's fighting. We have to call the cops. We have telling you the testosterone level and the women when they it's like
So not
somebody's-
only men, let's just clear that. Okay, the volleyball league had their fair share of fights, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think I know one of them.
So it gets so we have to always, and you always have to change your rules, your laws, and that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
We have to kick someone out. We have secure, as officers, part of the the one running it, we have officers. I mean, they have
To stop the fights.
yeah, but I feel bad because someone's like 70-year-old. I go, how are you going to stop them? No, but it's all volunteer work. So
Yeah,
remember,
and it was all
it's
volunteer.
Volunteer, yes. Mhm.
See, that's amazing. That's the other amazing part about it. It's really the community. You guys, the Manila Hong Kong family, in my opinion, really was the glue for the Filipino community around that time.
Yeah, I think,
know?
yeah.
And it's true. It's true because when
I would humbly accept that. Yes.
yeah, no, because Manila Hong Kong has always been a staple, at least for me. Like
Yes.
growing up here in the 90s. Again, like I said, if I'm feeling homesick, I'll take a drive. I'll go to Manila Hong Kong and chat there, and you guys would have some activities. You guys even was Tita Alice involved in some concerts too?
Oh yeah. She's like, I think my mom. No, yeah, we put shows together, and I think that's how you really establish relationship with the casino owners or directors. You know what I mean. So yeah, she dwelled in it because you know what? It's not my mom. It gets offered to her. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So okay, she will call me. Okay, you want to partner up with this? And yeah, I've done that too. I don't want to. I have stories about that too. Oh my gosh! But
Share.
it's good. I would say, how was it? Show business. I guess showbiz. It's a different
Field altogether.
altogether. And after a few shows, I said, Mom, believe me, we work. I told my mom if I put that much, time and effort and energy, I would have been,
Would have made more.
more money. So it's really just another, I think, a venue that she would try. And then again, she's an entrepreneur. It's offered to her.
Wow.
Yeah. So we tried that, and it's
People would just go to her for an idea.
ideas offer are I
And then
think-
she also has a network of other business people, it sounds like, right?
oh
So-
yeah, she would partner. Yeah, she would. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then they just come up with things for the community.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the basketball league. Let's go back on that one to that one. You said, I remember you shared it with me before that you would even had the mayor of Reno
Oh, we
attend
would invite.
the
Okay.
championship game or something.
Yes, we would invite officials. So you know what? That first to make sure that we would. It's a special event, and also that they recognize that what we do for the community, because it's very important. We have a lot of officials that recognize that.
Yeah.
If I am not mistaken, some kind of award, because we do that for the community, and I'm sure officials,
Yeah.
they know that because they know it takes a lot of commitment and work and hard work, And yeah, we were even on television at one, got interviewed. But just because what's happening in the community.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's amazing. See, well, I'm saying all these things because I ran the basketball league for 7 years, I think, 2009.
Wow, that's a long time.
I know. Yeah, I had help too. Yeah, 9, 10, 11, until 2015.
Oh wow.
But I never got that kind of publicity.
Really?
Or although you were sharing it with me, like you should invite the mayor there because
Yeah.
when I was trying to get you to sponsor some teams,
Yeah.
or some
Yeah,
trophies,
yeah.
like Becky, can you help me here?
Yes.
And you're like, oh yeah, I'll get you a trophy, but why don't you get those officials over there?
Yeah.
I never had that confidence to do it.
Oh.
But you and your mom,
And the
actually,
group of
group of-
officers, we would, absolutely.
who were the other people? I know Tito Vic, right?
Vic, yeah, I remember
was-
Vic. Oh my gosh, I can't. Oh my goodness, I can't remember. Oh my gosh, I remember. I think Manang Shoni. Oh no, because I remember Tita Malu, because we would collect the money. We have, we used to even sell snacks, everything to make the funds. Cause
Yeah, I heard there was there was entrance fee.
There's snacks.
Snacks.
Yeah.
There's balot. Somebody was selling balot.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't think. No,
Maybe
no.
on the side, maybe he wasn't
Somebody
paying
was,
you guys.
yeah, I think I remember somebody outside would sell that because no, but we do that because it's not for, it's for the funds. We gotta keep, it takes money, as you know,
Correct.
to run any organization. So you have to come up with ideas, and then we did charge entrance fee because we have to rent the building.
Yeah.
No,
No,
you-
but the audience was paying you guys entrance
Oh
fee,
yeah,
right?
remember it's almost always it's a lot of people. It's
we
packed.
we had it free and nobody was watching. You guys were
Really?
charging them to come in. Well, we had a few. It's the family of the players,
Yeah.
the wife, the husband, right?
Yes.
Or the
yes.
boyfriend. Yeah.
Yeah.
ganun. So, but you had, during your time, it was pretty dynamic. When
I
you
think
guys,
so. I didn't know you. I didn't know you had that. I mean, no.
yeah, I ran the league, and then when I became a pastor, I had to give it up to a couple of my friends,
Okay.
Jess and Mike.
Is it? It's not going in. There's nothing.
Mike, ever since 2018, I think, or 19, took over from Jess. Right now, I don't think it's running.
Is it Mike?
Mike Gordon. It's my
Okay.
You-
Oh,
you-
okay. I
you-
don't know.
You don't know him, yeah. But yeah, I had to let it go because, as you know, as you said, the fights break out, and when you're the leader, you can't.
You can act on your own.
So I'm already a pastor, and before I was a pastor, somebody's trying to fight. I'm like, I'll bark the loudest,
Yeah.
just to kind of stop it.
Yeah.
As a pastor, I don't think that'll be a good look for me. So I had to give it up. But I didn't have that kind of publicity, and you even had the news people to go over there.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I'm just really.
We were also
Amazed about
sponsored. Remember when it used to be the long distance? Remember the carrier we have. There's AT&T. Remember how you choose who do you want to use for long distance on the phone?
Yeah.
We actually were recognized too, because I would write articles. That's what that was. That kind of was put on.
You did that. I
I
didn't know
wrote
you
an
did
article. That's how they got to know us in Las Vegas, because Las Vegas community is bigger.
Correct.
So
correct.
they
Up
always
to now, yeah.
So they wanted someone representing in Reno. So I don't know why I got contacted, but I did. I wrote an article because Mom passed. I go, "Mom, will you write an article?" So I talked about FAAN. I mean,
Did
not
you-
FAAN. I'm sorry.
PHS.
The Filipino, the basketball association, because that was what
Oh.
we were doing at the time. So AT&T director called me, wanting to sponsor. I brought him, I think, one of the games. So basically, anybody signs up for AT&T, or if you're AT&T, something like that, we got some money for it. I mean, it always
Really?
goes to the pool. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I think could have really gone big, but I was already had my second child, and yeah, I had the business to run. so
So you were in the publicity part.
I
It
think
was
so.
you.
Yeah, probably. So I guess
Yeah.
no, I was a treasurer. So
So
not.
you were the treasurer.
Yeah, yeah. I was always voted a treasurer. I don't know why.
They know you're not gonna take it. It was a good pick. It was a good choice.
I think that was no. Even in the Philippines, I was voted treasurer. I don't know why, but anyhow, I always want to be the president, but I was. I'm kidding.
He can still be the president right now,
Oh no, no,
Becky.
no.
How
But-
about let's open it up again? But the Philippine Heritage Society, it's shut down, right? After
it is-
you left it, nobody
yeah,
took
I
over.
left nobody. Yeah, we revived it. We actually had a really good what do you call that? Like beginning again. So we did. I remember. I actually, if you look it up, I have pictures, and then when I left. So obviously nothing. Nobody wanted to continue. It is
to
a big.
carry
It's
it
a
on.
lot of work. Yeah.
It is. It is. Every time you do something for the community, right?
Yes.
It's like extra from what you're already doing,
Yes.
and then it's extra challenging because sometimes it's well, not sometimes, more often it's a lonely journey, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yes.
It's just you and a few people that truly understands what the
Yeah. I think
purpose
so.
is, and not everybody's behind you. But you
Yeah.
did it. You did it regardless.
Yeah. I guess you try to. I will go in there with a mindset. Just do the work, do it, get it done. Yeah. No, I'm hearing all it, like the challenges that you had, and I know there's always gonna be challenges. Come on.
Correct.
But we try to just work it. I guess and that goes and not saying that goes with my work. There's always gonna be
yeah.
I think that's why it kind of
As a mortgage officer, yeah.
You would sometimes go south. You just kind of try to pull it, and you just try to find you find a solution. So
You're-
focus on the goal. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not afraid of challenges. It's basically you grew up facing challenges, so it's kind of like a secondary thing for you. It's like, okay, this is gonna happen. I
Is
expected
that
this.
good? Or I don't really. Who likes challenges? It just
No, that's a
happened,
good thing, but that's life, right?
Yeah,
Like
it's
with
life.
our deals, sometimes
Yes.
the deals are extra challenging.
Yeah, yeah. There's always
Sometimes
gonna
it's
have
extra
challenge.
easy.
Yeah, sometimes really easy. Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
absolutely. Sounds like I go, why is it so easy? That's
Yeah,
scary.
yeah. You're like, I just plugged in the names and that was it.
That's it. Okay, you sure? I hadn't. Yeah.
Yeah, because real estate in the mortgage business is a totally different animal, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it is. I admire people. Or
Oh, yeah, 27 years. That's how's business right now with the interest rates and being scary for people?
business actually it's good. In terms of yes, interest rates are always gonna. It's probably gonna. It's going up with the crazy market, and I don't want to sound political. This tariff deal that's going on, it kind of shaking the market. So like the Feds and Fed talk about the last 2 days. Powell is not gonna change the Fed fund rate. So,
No matter what pressure is being put on him,
but
right?
I see one thing. Okay, Powell. I like him, but you have as a leader, you can't be so pressured. You gotta focus on. He has his reasons, but
Yeah.
but there's always. But I think I don't like with Fed is we have the lagging data. So, dude, before you do it, why don't you do it now? But then there's always they have their reason. But now, as far the reason I said that is because in terms of the market, I think it's still a good market. It's still going to be a purchase market. 2025, I think, is going to be better than 2024. I'm not talking
Correct,
about me. I'm
correct.
talking about the whole market.
Right. And you're licensed in how many states? Because you're the authority to say this. Because you're licensed in many states.
Well, no, I actually just eight states.
Just 8.
Yeah, no, no, but
Oh, just
there's
8
50
states.
states. No, I
Were you
don't.
trying to go for 10?
No, I don't. I don't want to anymore. No, but it's just really where I do business. I have realtor partners, so
So Nevada, Texas,
Texas.
California.
Arizona, Florida, Virginia, Tennessee.
Tennessee.
I know, right?
Gosh, how'd
And
you
North
get there?
and
Okay.
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yeah.
Wow, that is 8.
Right. I see. I know. See, I know that's
Yeah,
my because
yeah.
they're my. I have clients in
And you're closing deals on all these states.
Yeah,
People are
but not
buying
every.
houses.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I actually just closed a fix and flip. That's a big thing. I have a
The
client,
loan is a fix and flip.
fix and flip. Yeah, in North Carolina.
Share that. What is fix and flip?
I have, and you know what? I like this story because I want to share with you, and because as immigrants, I have this client. He's Hispanic, speaks very little English. And his son was so great that he is helping to translate. So he did one, and so he created, I think, an LLC. So there was somebody couldn't help him. He was desperate because they're in contract. So I don't know how they found my name because I think I speak Spanish. I used to speak Spanish. So I go, how'd you find my name in a company out of because I'm licensed in North Carolina. So I think, like we said, in the whole thing, that my heart just to help the guy. So I helped him. I put it together because I'm licensed in North Carolina, and he wanted to buy this. He was gonna fix it. Basically, what it is there's what you call this is if. For example, if it's worth 200,000 and you are a flipper, they call it a flipper, he's gonna buy it for about 120,000. And so if you got a 200,000 value and it's 120,000 and you need 30,000 to fix it
To rehab.
it, okay? So that's about 150,000.
Yeah.
So now you expecting, so of course you're gonna make the 50K, and so what we do is we would lend money based on the value that it's after it's fixed. So we go yes.
To 200, you're giving the loan for
but
2.
The 200,000, but there's a loan to value. So he
Oh,
would
okay.
put in with actually finance the fixing part of it.
Okay.
So let's say it's 120,000, you need 30K, right? So you need to put about 25% of 120, but we'll finance it all together.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's an LLC. He has. Remember, I told him to create an LLC, so he does. It's in the business. We lend it in a business. Every time you're gonna do fix and flip, guys, have an LLC.
So I have an LLC.
Because
That's good. Let's do
there
it.
you go. Yeah. So
But is this for
Because
all
we-
states? You do it for all states?
Oh well,
not just...
I do it for all state. If it's in a different state, I do send that to my colleague.
Really?
Yeah, because we're licensed in all 49 states except New York. We're not licensed, so
Okay.
we don't care. I don't care to be licensed in New York. No, I was kidding.
No, but wow, so they'll give
So
you the money to rehab it.
To rehab, yeah, they put it
And
all
then they'll
together. Yeah,
put it in the market
there's a
for
way,
200.
Yeah. So the reason I say that, so he has created his LLC. We blend money on his LLC.
Correct, to the LLC.
Yeah, so he rehab it, and now fast forward, I just got a call again. Hey Becky, we put that house in escrow. They sold it for 228. It's just a small, this is North Carolina.
Yeah,
remember?
yeah. But
So,
that's still good.
yeah. So now he's found another property. So that means now I'm gonna go. So it's
You're going to keep going.
he's gonna keep going. He's gonna
Yeah.
keep calling me. I just established a client and nobody wanted to help him.
Correct.
I helped
Because
him.
it
wasn't easy.
He was a
Remember?
minority.
Well, not just there's lots of challenges, but I say that story because it doesn't matter what we are, we're minor. We do it. We can do it.
Correct. Yeah.
He has what you call that, an I-10.
Oh,
I-10. It's only I-10. So
you
that's
work
why-
with an I-10 too?
Well, yeah,
The
I
fix
do.
and flip?
Well, no,
What-
yeah, but this one, besides this I-10, he has an LLC that's got its own tax ID number.
Yes.
Yes.
EIN, right?
Yeah, EIN. There
Correct,
you go.
correct.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See,
They
you're
have
a-
that. No.
Yes.
I'm trying to think it for me. That's why.
Yeah. Yes.
Is there a certain credit score that needs to be met for that?
Yes, I think it's his 6. I don't call me in it. Credit score. We go. It really depends.
As low
Yeah,
as.
yeah. I think this one. I think he had a 676 or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Wow.
and then the pricing
That's
changes.
amazing.
Yeah. But also there's a lot more. I don't want to bore you with, but
I'm not
there's a
boring
first time. When you're a first time investor, really makes you. You kind of go through that. It's just like again, you
Correct.
go through those adversities. But once, now he sold it. He's making 70K. So he called
Yeah.
me. He goes, I go, oh, okay. Because I thought it's done.
That was easy. How many was it? A month or two
You
after?
know, no, it's a 12-month, actually, interest only. I think, when did we do this transaction? He just finished, it took him 2 months to finish it.
Wow.
And then now it's in escrow, the property.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good job for him. Good.
So now it's going to be easier because I already did the hard part. He's got LLC, and then we're just doing it.
He knows how to do it already.
And,
yeah.
and it's easier for me because
So
I don't
there.
have to go through that.
So in a way, what you're saying in this market with high interest, there's opportunities still. Like,
Absolutely.
even with that investor,
Yes.
with that loan. I've heard that there's like a couple mortgage people that I spoke with here. They have 100% loans again.
There is always, there is 100% loan. So they call it, okay, every just to let you know, every bank or, they could come up with, and a lot of those are very limited. So, we're going to have it. And, mortgage industry, the only thing constant is change. it could be
I like
good
that.
today and then be gone tomorrow. So there's that 100%. I even have 101.5, 3.5% down payment assistance, and then 1.5 towards their closing cost. There's so many things. Now it's a purchase season. A lot of companies will come up with different programs.
These programs,
Yes, and
okay.
that is to answer your question. Yes, that is.
Yeah. So I think it's an opportunity because certain people that don't have down payment,
Yes,
they can take advantage of this market
absolutely.
because the programs are out.
Yes,
Because once the rates go down,
they could refinance.
correct.
So remember, this is what I tell people: marry the house, date the rate, right?
Yeah, you did
Just
tell me
keep
that.
that house.
I
you
like
just-
that.
Yeah. So even if it's really, really in a high interest market area, good to buy because the price of the house, once the interest rate comes down, historically speaking, the price of the house goes up. So what you're buying, so give you an example, put it in perspective. If you have if I can buy this house for 500,000, I don't want to buy this house because it's such high interest rate. So rate comes down about 0.5%. That 500,000 becomes 530.
Correct.
So
Correct.
you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
might as well buy that house if you can qualify, and then you could refinance.
Yeah. That's what I think too. Like because when the rates were really low,
Price of-
we come in. Even before we go in the door, I'm already checking with the listing agent. Like, hey, is this house still available? They're like, I got 15 offers on it.
Yeah.
It's like 3 hours in the market, 15 offers. So I look at my clients and I go, what do you guys want to do? Oh, let's still take a look at it. FHA, 3.5% down. Not gonna win.
Well, somebody's
not,
gonna come in.
You're not gonna win, right? You're not.
Yeah.
You're battling with cash buyers or people that are not gonna, worry about appraisal. I had clients. My strategy before was to write a letter. I tell my clients, write a letter and then send me a
Yes.
picture of you and your family, and then let's make them your ninong and ninang, just so you can win the house. So it's all of that because when the rates are low, everybody can buy.
Yeah.
When the rates are where it's at right now,
Yes.
only a few,
Yes.
right, with certain buying power. Although their buying power is kind of lessened, right?
Yes, but there's so many ways. Like remember the buy downs. There are different options.
Contributions from the seller, yeah.
Buy downs, and there's so many so many ways to help you strategize making your offer.
Correct. So we got into that mortgage thing, but a lot of your tenacity in business, you think you learned through the years with running the store with your mom?
I credit absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
The challenges that you face there
Yes.
makes the mortgage business easy somehow? Or you were prepared
It's
for
a
the
different-
it prepared you for the
It
mortgage business.
prepared me. Yes, you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I like it. So, okay. It doesn't sound like you had that many challenges as an immigrant here or a foreigner here in Reno. It doesn't seem like you took it as a challenge because it sounds to me like you embraced it. You and your family embraced it. Hey, let's start a Filipino store. And then not only were you running the Filipino store, you were embracing your uniqueness. You started a Philippine History Society or Heritage Society, to a point you guys became the contact for Northern Nevada from the people, the Filipinos in Vegas, for the Asian Pacific Islanders. You guys really made, you kind of were the mayors for the Filipino community somehow. So you embraced it. It wasn't a challenge for you at all, right? Being a foreigner.
Oh, it's
this-
challenging, Mr. Joe. Oh, absolutely.
Share
have
with
I
me the challenge.
have I did I have a share of being discriminated? Yes, I think, but the key thing is, I said I embraced it. That's what. There, it's always if you're being an immigrant, yeah, there's always going to be a challenge, but I think that I focus more on overcoming that challenge.
Yes.
I don't want to be. Oh, I'm not gonna try to speak like them or something. No, but I use that to, like we said, to show my uniqueness. This is, it did not stop me.
I like it.
Just going back to your example, you said, you tell me a story about making the shows. So we go to, I think it was, we contracted with Silver Legacy. I think they were like, at the time, like, because we're trying to put everything, the contract, because we're going to use their, we're going to do the show. They were like dictating, oh, this and that, and I'm like, because I'm listening, I'm like letting my mom talk and another business partner. I go, this doesn't. I go, so I finally said no. I decided, no. You know what? We're bringing you the business. I let them know what you have. Yes, you're providing the venue, but we're bringing you people. So the whole negotiation process, it became kind of like, we're like this.
You
So I
turned
want
the
this.
table.
I want that. I mean, okay, well, I need to put for my sponsors, I need to put a little after party okay, we'll trade you with 100 tickets, that kind of thing. And, towards the end of it, the director, and he, became my friend, and he was like doing extra for me. Hey, look, I did put your show name there. And so, I mean, I think, and then I saw that because I would see our parents, like my mom, and I go, no, I mean, my mom works so hard. Don't let this guy tell you,
Yeah,
And so,
yeah, I like that.
But this guy ended up liking, I guess, I call it guts. I don't know, but
No, yeah.
I was just fighting and go, no, dude,
Because what you're saying, I think what you're saying is, because I've seen it with my mom and my dad on how the white people would treat them when
yes.
I was growing up still, and it's so easy to notice that they're underestimating them,
Yes.
right? And
Yes,
then my
they-
mom and my dad will
they
just
just kinda-
cower. They're
kinda
like,
cower, yeah, mhm.
okay, yes sir, that's just, it's as simple as the wrong order, receiving the wrong. When we get the wrong order in the restaurant, my dad will tell me like, oh, this is not what I ordered. I go, okay, go tell the waiter. He's like, it's okay, never mind, it's.
Yes.
I don't want to bother her. or when we try to return something and then they'll start arguing and then my parents will just like, oh, okay, never mind. Like I think the older Filipinos
Yes.
are quick to just give in.
Yeah.
And I
They
think
don't
that's
like
what
that,
you're
that-
saying.
yeah.
It's like you noticed that they were being
Yeah, they were kind of like
taken
they're-
advantage of, right?
I don't think that's what, but they think like he's got, he's dictating. I go, no, it doesn't work. So I finally go, but before I kind of got into him and I negotiating, I asked questions. I said, oh, okay. So I finally like, oh, okay. Little did he notice, like my little, okay, it's working. Okay.
You're
So
computing.
then we come back and we go back and forth. And then we got, at the end, we were able to put there was, I think, Kula Desma. We put a successful show. My sponsors were happy. It was, so, but because I wanted to make sure, you cannot have sponsors not have party meet the
Yeah.
whatever, the star. And so that's why the next show, we could ask them for more money for sponsorship. So
Good.
but there were, so that kind of thing, it helped me also. Like, I guess
To
I don't
negotiate.
just back down, and then he became my friend. I call him, hey, do you have some shows?
He became close
he
friends.
became my friends. Like, here, he gives me, I used to get free tickets
It's good. So who are the talents that you brought here? Just top of your mind. So cool. Because I asked this. I asked Ken this.
Pop Fernandez.
Were you part of that? The one at the Nugget? Yung
Oh
kay
no,
Pops
that,
and
the,
Cool?
I think
Were
that,
you part of that? Or
oh
was
no,
that?
that's the older. That's
Okay.
like ours is like we. Oh my gosh, I know. I even have a picture with Regine Velasquez. Cool. Oh, I know. We did Pilita. Oh my goodness, I don't even remember. You know, really when
Was it
you're running a.
was Sharon? Were you
Oh,
part of
Sharon,
that?
no. Sharon was with different group. Yeah, I think that's from Kula Desma. Oh, they like that, so they kind of we'll go get Sharon. But that's a totally different.
So Cool was the very first.
No, but I know my mom did Ray Valera, the very beginning. You know, the small stars. You know, you always want to start small first. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Yeah.
You want to break it in.
Yeah, that's really actually that's what happened. Break it in. Yeah.
Yeah. You wanted to try it out.
Yep.
Well, that's good. Well, you did a lot. So, okay, you faced challenges, but you embraced it. And then now in the mortgage business, do you still feel it? Do you still feel? I'm asking these questions repeatedly with
I think
with
we would always
guests.
have that a little bit of, you know, even though it's a totally different society now, right? And
Yeah, has
everything
improved,
is
yeah.
well accepted. I just came back from Australia not too long ago. I felt that even this, you know, the little bit of because he's that person is white, you know, but I think we all have biases. We're always gonna have that.
Correct. I
Even
agree.
us
Totally
ourselves,
agree.
it's human. You know what I mean?
Correct, I agree.
So that's how it's a mindset that I change. You know, I don't become defense. No, I don't get offended. Actually, laugh about it. No, really, I don't. So otherwise, why get mad? I just laugh.
Correct, because they see something different, right? They're not
Yeah.
used to you. They're not used to us, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I'm the same way. Like I notice it, but at the same time, I don't take it against them until they get
Yes.
offensive. You know,
Yeah,
until they
yes.
get
Yes.
like intentional,
Yes.
sounding like they're putting me down because of the color of my skin. But if they're just surprised, you're not gonna believe this. Like some clients of mine over the phone, like I'll meet them on the phone first, right? And I meet them in person. They're like, "Oh, I thought you were Italian." So like,
You look Italian.
I could be Italian. Itang Ilocano.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but yeah, it's because it's just a thing. Yeah, it's just the normal cycle, I would say.
Yeah.
But everybody, just like you, most successful, many of the successful people, the immigrants like us that have made it here, don't play the victim card at all. Like they know it's part of their, personality. It is part of me, but it just makes them drive harder.
Yes.
And go
Yes.
harder. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true. You're right.
Yeah, and I think that's what your family did, and it's just, again, for me, Manila, Hong Kong. If it wasn't around, it would have been harder for me,
Wow.
being homesick. Because
That's very heartwarming. Thank you for sharing that.
no, it's having that Filipino store at Audi.
Right.
I know
The ghetto part, but hey, it's fun.
Hey, it was good. It was the place to be.
Yeah.
If I'm lonely, and of course you don't go there and you say I'm lonely.
Yeah.
You just go there, and it just gives you the feel of the Philippines real quick. You get your Philippines quick fix. You get my nagaraya when my
There you
teeth
go.
was strong, when they were strong still. Nagaraya, my soda, my sarsi.
Wow.
You get your snacks, the ones that you miss, the sampalok. And
Oh yeah.
I don't think if it wasn't around, I think it would have been twice as hard, because I thought coming to America, I would no longer eat rice and Filipino food, and lo and behold,
Oh.
it's still here.
Yes.
You
I
know?
think we that's it's part of our DNA. It's our, and if I may share with you, I'm very very honored to even share my culture, what I learned from Americans.
Yeah.
I almost I'm honored. I'm proud. I'm proud of it.
Yeah, you are. And you've I mean from the story from the 80s, you've never ran away from it because I know certain Filipinos that immigrated from the Philippines and have been here. They don't want to teach their children the language, the Filipino language, the Tagalog.
Yeah.
They don't want to teach it because they're traumatized from when they were sent to ESL or they were, people were making fun of them because their English wasn't, pristine. So they don't want that for their children. So di na nila tinuruan mag-Tagalog, right? So I've heard that kind of story. I've heard, like, I know certain Filipinos that would rather not be recognized as Filipino. There's like,
I experienced that but I thought not anymore because Filipinos are being recognized now in every industry.
I know it's
right?
heavier now, right?
Yeah.
We have Jokoy now.
Yeah, and then no.
This Jokoy.
The beauty of the Philippines, I think I appreciate more where I came from.
Yeah.
No, but no, don't get. Yeah, the very beginning, it was like, oh my gosh, it was so hard. But really, you have to go through that because now that I appreciate where I came from,
Correct.
because I get everything, a lot of things I learned. My husband Virgil, see, I learned this from my grandma and my mom. Now you're the recipient of it, and he likes it.
He likes the Filipino wife discipline.
Yes.
Virgil, when you're done eating, you put it in the sink, put water in it.
Actually, no, he does. It's like wash your hands. And he does, but no. And then hey, you're not going out there like that. What do you call that? Habulin ka ng plancha. So I iron.
What?
His
His
it's
clothes.
so expensive to pay for, what do you call that?
The dry
nowadays,
clean.
The dry clean. Why we still have the Asian, why would pay for dry clean? Even though whether you can afford it or not. No, I'm just going to save money.
So how about your children? Because your children are half Filipino,
Yes.
half American.
Yes.
Do they like or do they
my
love?
goodness. They're so Filipino in their heart. I think I can really tell you that. They love all the Filipino foods. They really enjoy they're very happy they're Filipinos.
They
Yeah,
are.
even
Good.
my son
That's
goes,
good.
Mom, we're gonna go see Motherland. Like what? He said that. And it's like,
Motherland?
wow. He's like, so, and that's incredible to me. It makes me happy that oh my gosh, they're very proud to be Filipinos.
Oh, good. My son, I think I shared this with you when he graduated in 2020, and it was the weird time, right, to graduate, or 2021. So it was at the football stadium or football field instead of the UNR.
Yeah.
Because typically it's at the UNR, but because of COVID, they wanted outdoors or open. So he was walking when they were marching in. He gets something from his pocket, and it's the Philippine flag.
Oh wow.
And he starts waving it and looking at me, and I'm like,
That is
how?
incredible.
I'm like, how did he even, try to, what happened here? Because I know, like, he knows he's Filipino. It's not like I denied Filipino heritage with him, but I was just really surprised that he was proud of it.
That's good. You've done that.
You
You
know?
did it right. You did something right?
I guess so. For somebody who was born here and, he has more American friends than Filipino friends, but he still embraced it. Well,
Okay.
I have one last question for
Yay.
you, if
Okay.
you can. Last one. Do you have any advice? What's your advice for a Filipino or a Filipina person that's growing up and trying to still navigate through life here, or maybe for somebody who just immigrated and is new here? What do you think you want to share with them in order for them to kind of make it in this country and have a successful life?
Wow, quite a lot. Oh my gosh. Let me count the ways. But first, really have faith, believe in God, and really determine what you want. Of course, like I think I've said it, embrace who you are.
Yeah.
Accept who you are. You are. Don't let others define you.
That's good.
Right. Never stop learning and never stop learning and don't be afraid. I think, and then in the, and I don't want to sound biblical, but it's funny. I think don't be afraid, and it's easier said than done, right?
Correct, correct.
But don't be afraid, especially if God is with you. No one. I think that's always been,
Correct.
who can be against you.
Oh wow, you stand with that, huh?
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good.
So, really, I think have God in your life and focus. And there's more than yourself. There's always, when you give, it's gonna come back to you in so many ways. Just
So your faith's been big on you,
yes, my faith is yes,
playing a big part in your life.
yes. I don't think I'll be here without
That's good.
yes,
That's good.
my faith. And yeah, we all have challenges. I think we're just going back to the advice. There's gonna be challenges.
And you
Embrace it, take it in.
and you have God. You have God.
God, yes, you'll be guided. Yes.
That's good. That's good. Well, Becky,
Well,
thank you very much for doing this. I know.
did we? I'm sorry. I think I
No,
was
no,
like,
no.
yeah.
No, we good. We're good. We typically last about an hour or so.
Did I go over an hour? I thought I was supposed to time it.
Thank you very much, Becky.
No, thank
I
you.
think I really appreciate. I mean, if I had Tita Alice in front of me right now, I would really thank her because I know everything that I told
you
you.
know
It's sincere. Maybe she did not see it or envision it that her store is gonna be like the hub for the community or for somebody who was homesick like me.
Wow.
I used Manila Hong Kong. I would go in there just because I was homesick, not because I needed the soda.
Yeah.
But I would go there. There was a place for me to go to. She
Wow.
provided, your family provided that for me. And I know up to now, a lot of people, they're not missing their food because Manila Hong Kong provides the grocery. It's there. Except UFC ketchup now. I think
Yeah.
they took it
I
out.
don't know. Yeah. Well, I thank you so much, and thank you so much for being patient.
No. Becky, I'm going to say a word of prayer and then we're going to
Please,
sign off.
thank you.
Yeah? Okay. Lord, I thank you for Becky and with your sovereign hand bringing her here and agreeing to be a part of this episode and this show that you are maneuvering in ways that I don't understand. But I trust in you and I thank you for the work that you have done through Becky's life and how you have guided her and protected her and her family. I pray, Father, that you continue to keep her safe and her children. I pray that you bless her with her business and her marriage. Please keep them safe and keep them protected, Lord God. I thank you for Manila Hong Kong, Lord God. I thank you for an idea that became more than just a store. It became a Filipino community hub, Lord God, in this town that especially for somebody like me who needed it at that time. I pray for them and blessings for them as well. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen, amen. Thank you, Becky.
You can edit the whole lot.
Well, that is it. Thank you very much for watching. That was episode 8. And I'm going to sign off. Paalam. Hanggang sa susunod. God bless you.